Okay.
Brittany.
Hey, sorry.
Hello. Lyle. This is our physics project on the topic of Bernoulli's principle. Just kidding.
Daniel Bernoulli was a Dutch-Swiss mathematician and was one of the many prominent mathematicians in the Bernoulli family. He is particularly remembered for his applications of mathematics to mechanics, especially fluid mechanics. Bernoulli's work is still studied at length by many schools of science throughout the world.
He is the earliest writer who attempted to formulate a kinetic theory of gases, and he applied this idea to explain Boyle's law.
He worked with Euler on elasticity and the development of the Euler-Bernoulli beam equation. Bernoulli's principle is of critical use in aerodynamics.
Gravity is a mysterious thing. We experience its effects every day, but never really think about it. Without enough gravity, we'd be floating around in space. Too much gravity, and we'd be flattened like a pancake. Luckily, the gravitational pull is just right here on Earth. It keeps us comfortably anchored to the ground. Still, it helps to understand that with regards to gravity, there are opposing forces at work. Bernoulli's principle states that as an airstream speeds up, a decrease in pressure occurs. In other words, fast-moving air will cause a drop in air pressure, like when I blow on this slip of paper. You think that the paper would move away from the airstream, but it doesn't. In fact, it does the opposite. It moves toward the stream of air. Care to explain? Bling.
Of course! When you hold the paper in front of your mouth and blow across the top, you create an area of fast-moving air. The slower-moving air under the paper now has higher pressure, pushing the paper up and towards the area of lower pressure.
What's going on here, Zoe?
Well, here, the hairdryer is acting as a source of fast-moving air. The moving column of air produced by the hairdryer causes an area of low pressure, so the pressure of air in the column is lower than the pressure of air outside of the column. The ball is trapped in the area of low pressure. Even when the ball attempts to move in that direction, the higher air pressure pushes it back into the low-pressure column of air.
Go.
Well, that's pretty interesting, Zoe. You're exactly right. And here, gravity comes into play when examining how high the ball goes. The hairdryer pushes the ball upward until this upward force equals the force of gravity that is pushing down on it. It's pretty neat, isn't it?
Tilt the bowl so that the side away from the ping pong ball is lower. The ball will remain against the higher side of the bowl even though you would expect gravity to pull it downwards. You will find that you can tilt the bowl quite a bit before gravity finally pulls the ball out of the stream. The moving stream of water is pushing less on its side of the ball. The slower water on the other side is pushing more, so the ball is continually pushed into the stream of water.
And here's another example of Bernoulli's principle. What do we have here, Bling?
Certainly. We have two empty plastic bottles taped on cardboard squares that are set on plastic straws. If you blow between the bottles, you would expect them to move apart, away from the air, but they don't. When the hairdryer blows between these bottles, the pressure between them will be lower than the pressure on the outsides, causing a net force to be exerted on each bottle toward the other. Because the friction between the bottles and the tabletop is reduced by the straws, they can move toward one another easily. Let me show you.
Thanks, Bling. It's really interesting to see how the bottles react to each other. You'd really think that the air would make them blow away, not towards each other.
blow through the straw, the air inside the straw is moving faster than the air outside. According to Bernoulli's principle, fast-moving air exerts less pressure than slow-moving air. That means when you blow, the high pressure on the outside pushes the pointed part of the straw close. That stops the flow of the air and opens up again. As soon as it opens, the air starts moving and the pressure outside the straw forces it closed again. This rapid opening and closing is what causes the vibration.
You can make your own duck calls too. Here's how.
First, get a straw. Bite 1 inch from the end. We prefer to use our teeth, but you can use a book.
Next, take the scissors and cut into a long, narrow triangle.
Next, you're going to take the triangle and flatten it once again. Once you've done that, blow real hard and you should make your duck sound.
Now we're going to show you a really interesting demonstration of Bernoulli's principle. Toilet paper! Why didn't you tell us how this is going to work, high def?
Sure. When we turn this hairdryer on, it will act as the moving air stream that has reduced pressure in it. Since the reduced pressure is on top of the toilet paper roll, it will lift it.
Wow, that's pretty neat. Let's see that again in slow motion. The slow-moving air under the toilet paper has higher pressure than above the toilet paper, so it pushes the toilet paper off the roll. You ready? Well, that's all the time we have. I want to thank Bling, Zolf, and High Def. Hopefully you learned a lot about Bernoulli's principle and how objects act in terms of pressure. Thanks for watching.
Go.
Are we good?
No.
Left-handed people can't work scissors.
To your point, it sucks.
Okay, see.
And now we're going to quack.
She's like exploding over here. Blow extra super hard.